your host, the world-renowned Chef Paulie.
Hey food lovers, thank you for watching Cooking with Paulie. And today I'm going to be cooking something I like to call shrimp Paulie. And basically what we're going to need is some half and half or creamer, really, any whipping cream, anything that's kind of thick, that'll work fine. Some asparagus. We're just going to use the heads off the asparagus. We're going to cut the heads off of the asparagus. I need some cherry tomatoes. I'm going to use about 10 of them. Some green pepper here. It's not green, it's red. I know that. I know it's red. I'm just looking at the stem. The stem is green. I was kind of right. There's green on this pepper. Some artichoke hearts. Now, artichoke is always best, just like everything is best, if you use it fresh. I don't use fresh artichoke. Anyway, we're going to also use some mostaccioli. This circular pasta that, you know, you can have the hole in the middle, that way you can soak up the sauce better. Anyway, and of course we're going to use some shrimp, cooked shrimp. I like to go ahead and go with the regular frozen cooked shrimp. Fresh is better, of course, but I don't like to work with fresh shrimp. I know I'm weird. Alright, first things first, we're going to chop up some artichoke hearts. I like them to be just kind of chopped. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not looking for diced or sliced, or we just want the artichoke heart to be kind of shredded, so it you don't have to worry about little clumps of artichoke heart throughout. It's just going to mix in and blend with the other ingredients well. Alright, got that. We're going to add that to our mixing bowl. Next we're going to cut up the tomatoes. Now, with the tomatoes you want a good sharp knife, because you want to get them sliced as good as possible without all the fillings, you know, falling out. You know, it's kind of like cutting up an eyeball. I don't know if you ever cut up an eyeball before, but when you cut an eyeball, all the stuff gushes out, and you don't want that. It's going to happen, but the sharper your knife, the less gushy stuff will come out. You want to. It doesn't matter if they're not all sliced perfectly. You can have some big chunks in there. It doesn't matter. Now that the tomatoes are cut up nicely, then we're going to go ahead and grab some of our trusty paper towels, because there's a lot of gunk here. You know, the eyeball juice just kind of goes out. You can't help it. No matter how sharp your knife is, it just is going to happen. Maybe in culinary school they teach you something like that. I don't know. I never went to culinary school. I just taught myself, which is kind of obvious, but try this food. It's awesome. Now that it's done, we're going to go ahead and work with our red pepper. I'm going to go ahead and just twist this off. Got that. Knock out most of the seeds. Now with this, we don't want to waste much at all, if you can avoid it. So what I'm going to do, cut off the top here. I'm going to cut down the sides. Then we're just going to strip out the seeds. This top, there's nothing wrong with it. It's good. No reason not to eat it. Except in this case, I don't need it, because in this recipe we're going to have only thin slices, strips of red pepper, and I obviously don't want, you know, what this would produce is not strips, so I'm not going to use it. It's just the way it is. It's an aesthetic thing. It's silly, I know, I'm wasting, but that's what it is. And so what we're doing here is just slicing the red pepper, just slicing it into strips. If you haven't cut a lot of red pepper in your life, you should know that cutting red pepper, you have two sides to a pepper. You have, of course, the inside and the outside. The outside has a thick skin. What you want to do is you want to cut from the inside. It's the easiest way to cut it. You cut it really quickly that way without a lot of sticking. Oh, it has such a good smell, this pepper. Real earthy smell. Red peppers are great. There was a time when I didn't like to eat a lot of strange things. I didn't like red peppers. I didn't like tomatoes. I didn't like asparagus and artichokes and That stuff is just, I don't know, kind of got a stigma in my mind, and I didn't want anything to do with it. And I got older and I realized, hey, this stuff is good. It's really good stuff. So yeah, so see, we got some good strips of red peppers there. And we're just going to toss that in with our other veggies. Now, the asparagus is next. And asparagus, when I buy it, it comes with rubber bands on it. What I like to do is just get the rubber bands about where I want to cut, and just cut. There, it's done. This is still good. I'm going to use it for steak tomorrow, because you can still cut most of the stem and use the stem. It's just as good as the head. Not just as good, but it's good. The asparagus is going in a little after I browned these veggies, so I'm not ready to put it in yet. So right now, that is the preparation. And now the shrimp is cooked. It's time to put the vegetables in the oil. Alright, so we've got the oil nice and hot in the pan. Got our water boiling for our noodles. And got my wife about to feed the baby, who's throwing a fit. I can't really see her. Anyway, but that's okay. So here we're going to saute these vegetables a little bit before we put in the asparagus and the shrimp. Vegetables are just about sauteed. I'm going to start adding our spices. Start with paprika. A little bit of black pepper. Add some onion and herb. Red pepper. A little bit of that. Celery salt, just a lime, some California lemon, garlic powder, and last ground mustard. Okay, alright, now it's time for the shrimp. So we've got the shrimp and the asparagus in there. So that's really nice. Let that simmer probably until the baby's done feeding, now that she's not crying anymore. It's been sauteing for a little bit. We're going to add the final 2 touches. First is squeeze a lemon and then some cream. Cream makes a really nice sauce. And the next step is to have another crying baby. It's actually the same baby. Just to add the pasta. And the pasta is added. It is done. It's done. Now to top it with Spanish sheep's milk cheese. And that's cooking with Paulie.